I've noticed this, and I think I've interviewed now, hundreds and hundreds of people. You do the little things really well also. Make sure that everyone who's interviewing, so let me say it differently. You make sure that when that candidate comes to our office, and even long before and even after, they have an extraordinary experience. Because we want to be, we want our employer brand to stand for something, right? That they're going to learn something, they're going to grow, and they're going to develop by coming here and participating in this process, regardless whether they get the job or not.
Yeah.
So little things like you make sure that the interviewers, myself included, show up on time.
Yeah.
Because you want to make sure that I'm being respectful of their time, that I'm investing in them in some way. I find that remarkable because in other companies I've had, that wasn't always the case. And those little things add up.
Sure.
And you get great feedback that, hey, I had this great experience. I mean, I didn't get the job or I did get the job, but they really treated me well. And I felt like I learned something and I grew. And that's all you can ask.
Think
right?
about it. Think of candidates like customers. It's rare that they have a neutral experience. It's
Right.
always typically a positive experience or a negative one.
They're going to be opinionated one way or the other.
They are,
Shape it.
absolutely. And also, I've had candidates that we haven't hired that have referred other people to me. Hey, I wasn't a good match for this spot, but I think I know someone who might be because they had such a good experience. We actually survey all of our candidates after their interviews are completed and the process is over. So if we offer you a job, we survey and ask you how the experience was. And if we didn't offer you a job,
want
we
the good,
survey
bad,
you
and ugly, right?
and ask you how the experience was so that we know and we
So it
know
gets
where
better
we
all
can
the time.
improve. Right.
The other thing I've noticed that you do with this team is you actually coach the people interviewing them
Right.
on how to give a good interview and even some of the sets of questions and the kinds of questions you want to ask. Do you want to talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so we compile for any of our open positions a set of questions that will help us get to the information that we need to make a relevant hiring decision. So whatever technical skills we need, we build questions around those to make sure that nothing's ever missed. And then around culture and how we do work together, we ask people questions like, how do you have fun at work?
Right.
Hopefully they have fun with their coworkers, with the customer, and we get to hear those stories. So we build that out for every job so that we're not only asking you about your experience or your skills or your education, but we're also asking you about what you're like to work with.
Right.
Because we work in close quarters, we all sit right next to each other, half on top of each other. You can hear everyone's conversation. We want to work with people who are going to add to the culture in a way that is exciting and positive.
So think about how you would apply that. Let's say I'm a home cleaner.
Yeah.
And I probably hire and try to keep as many great people as I can. What would be a kind of question that you would want to ask as an owner of a home cleaning business of a candidate? What kind of things would you want to know about?
Yeah, so I would probably be asking them, what I would find if I was going to call the last, 3 houses they went to. So assuming they've done this work before. So, think of the last 3 jobs you went on. If I were to call, the homeowner, what would they tell me? What would they say about you if I were to ask? People really start to think about that, and they, what you want to hear is someone says, gosh, I really hope that they'd say I did the little extras, or I took extra time, or if there's someone that's home when they clean, I think they'd say that they look forward to me coming over.
Right, but the personal aspect of it too, right?
Yeah, so looking to see not just what their answer is, but how they react to the question. Is it something that's sort of exciting, like, wow, I hadn't thought about that, what would they say about me? Well, gosh, I hope they say these things.
Right, in that moment of truth, particularly when you surprise them a little bit, but in an authentic way, they reveal so much, right? They really let you into who they are and how they think about their own personal brand and what the value is of the work that they deliver and the experience they deliver. Because so much of what we've observed about the home services space is that, like, I can't tell you anything about electrical work. I mean, the light goes on, the light goes off. That's about as much as I know. But I can tell you everything about the experience I have with that tech who came to my house. And I can also tell you, just like I would in my review or my feedback, what did I think of that individual? What was the customer service that they gave me? Did they do the things that they should do in a professional way? Did they ask me what does success look like when they came to my house? Did they even ask me ahead of time, how would this be a great service call? Such a rare question, but it's one that I love and one that I coach in some of the people that I get to work with, because if you just ask what success is and then you deliver on that value, it's so easy to then ask for a review or for a reference or a referral. And those are the kind of things that I'd want to know if I were hiring a tech. Would they be able to go not just do the work technically, can they go and take care of the customer? Because that's where the magic all lives. in growing a business, it is that obsession around around the customer and the consumer.
Yeah, and so some of the other questions that I would want to know are things like, hey, what would the team say about you? What's your general reputation on the team? You know, the last company you worked at or the company you're working at now.